Hello, my dear learners. We grade 12 organization management. Today we will talk about the local and international business environment of the firm. So after knowing the environmental scanning, what is it all about? And then after also knowing the environmental scanning techniques, now we can choose if we will be going to local environment or international business environment. Okay, so we will know the differences of these and the advantages and disadvantages that it would give us when choosing our environment for business. Okay. Are the learning objectives, and we will be able to answer this question. What is the impact of the local and international business environment on the firm's overall competitiveness? So local business environments. There are some scenarios that we need also to be here or choose local as well. Okay. Maybe because we want to um, have our product just be here. Like we choose it to be here because it's affordable. Okay. So, but it has also different factors. Okay. So we have here the features of choosing local business environment. First is lower transportation and transaction costs because you will not have or connect to the other country. Okay. Everything is just around here. Okay. Or locally. Next is no trade barriers. Since the flow of it is just smooth, you can control everything. Then the flow of communication and information is less complicated as well. Okay, you can communicate directly. Okay, if you cannot communicate, you can go directly to the other business establishment. So that is less complicated. Next is understanding customer preferences is easier. So for example, since we are locally, we expect that our common customers will always be Filipinos. Okay. But if we tackle another country or if we choose international, we should expect that um, we have to also adapt what is their need or what is the need of our customer consumer. Next is minimum supply of resources because again, limited only because it is local and smaller market for products and services, of course. So limitations because we cannot go wildly. The range is just here. So you should also expect that it is just smaller, okay? Not that wide. So we have here Porter's five forces. First is it is the rivalry among existing competitors. So bargaining power of supplies, threats of substitute products, threats of new entrants, and bargaining of power of buyers. So Porter's five forces is helps us to analyze the different factors affecting to the industry's competition in a local business environment. So that is the reason why sometimes the environment or the business will not work because of the competition. So rivalry among competitors is present not just um, last time, but up until today. Okay. So how can we know if we have competitors? So also by assessing the number of it and also the specific industry. And by this way, we can also look if what is our strengths, weaknesses, the qualities and capabilities that we have and the existing competitors have. Okay. Next, threat of new entrants is assesses the capability to the other companies to enter the industry. Okay, so it could also be giving the chance to the other company to compete to another. Okay, so having connections as well. Bargaining power of suppliers, it aims to know the ability of the suppliers to increase their prices. So for example, this certain business is more that have more customers. So the supply also is very demand. Okay, all the supplies and demand are present. or high cost. Unlike the other one that is small customers, so the supplies also are just smaller. Okay. And also since um they ordered a lot of supplies, so they can also have a smaller amount or discounts. Okay, so that is the wholesale and retail ika. Okay. Next is threat of substitute products. So there are certain products that will be set a substitution if your product will be lack of supply. So it could give an instances or an opportunity to the other product to use by the customer. Okay, if your product is not available. So that also makes an a competition. Next is bargaining of our buyers. So by that way, you can, or the buyers can easily identify, this product is more effective than the other one. So maybe I can choose this one. Okay. So by that way, the lesser the buyers, producers would have also the influence to have the price that they want. And the buyers also will have the ability to demand the lower prices through their bargaining powers. Okay, so that's it. Now let's have international business environment. So in this class is we are going to have the operation and transaction beyond the home country's borders. Okay, so we will take consideration as well the other countries' um, environment if we will choose international. So we will use also the past for this one because again, we have different factors to consider because again, we are in the different countries. So we will also check the political part, okay, the economic part, technological part, and social cultural part. And we are going to differentiate it from our country and to the other country as well. So for example, the Starbucks, it is originally made from the other country, right? But when they decided to bring it here, have a franchise it here, they also check these factors, okay? In political side, in economic side, in technological side, and in social cultural side, okay? So, why is international business environment present? Because it was the result of the globalization. Okay, so when we are globalized, so everything the spread of not just the culture that they have, but also the products, services, jobs as well. That's why all of us are, or maybe if we think practically, we want to go have a job abroad, unlike here, right? And then the information as well, okay? Because as we assess it to our country's state now, it's very different or something new to us, okay? So that is why we choose to have international, and that is what we call globalization, adapting what they have. So we also have free trade agreement for this one because of the technological advancement. So what we have now, the gadgets we have right now is coming from the globalization. Okay. So it could also be the free trade agreement that is consensus between two or more nations to remove or reduce the barriers from imported and exported products. So everything went well because of the free trade agreement. We also have regional economic alliance as well. We have ASEAN present to us, right? So we are also part of the ASEAN. Aside from our country, we have Myanmar, Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Indonesia, and Ireland. Okay, so these countries also promotes us to, or may also make us one of our alliance, not just to promoting their countries as well, but also the economic operation. Okay, so ASEAN. Again, the technological advancement as well. So we have now artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, the internet as well, the robotics, that is what we are using right now. Okay. So here are the features why we use international business environment. Wider customer reach. So by that way, our um, standard is higher because of the wider customer reach. Spreading business risk as well, because there are a lot of risks that may come along the way since this is now crossing another border. Access to more talented employees as well, because you have different cultures, okay? You have different nationalities. Expanding the brand. So by that way, your brand will not just be known locally, but globally. And then greater access to inputs, complicated rules and regulations. Handling the logistical process is more complicated. So, for example, the Shopee that we ordered, or something that we ordered from Shopee, the reason why it has delays because it goes through shipping. Like it is shipped not by an airplane, okay, but in a ship. Of course, that is why it's called shipping. But jokingly aside, Glass, that is the reason why it's delayed because it goes a process, okay, the logistic process. It is checked, it has gone a lot of process. And then difficulty in communication and information transfer because we have different ways of communication. For example, here in the country, we use Messenger as our communication tool, while in the other country like Thailand, they choose a line as their way of communication. Okay, so that is the barrier in communicating if we will choose international business environment. So that ends with our topic, the international and local business environment.